Okay, who's next? Who's next? That or that? Let's go with that. Why not? Transformers Studio Series Mixmaster. I'll admit, I've been negligent in completing the Studio Series Devastator figure, so which I do want to complete. This will be my fourth character or my fourth figure from that line. So, um, I took a look at pictures for what's his name, Demolisher, and wow, they actually got the tractor treads to change into the big wheels. I don't know how, but they did. And I'm like, wow. So looking forward to that. Oh goodness, the kibble. Holy shit, Mixie. What'd you do wrong? Also, the color palette is very tame here, I should point out. Very, very tame. Alright, where are the instructions? Gather. Oh, yeah. I still have my original Voyager-class Mixmaster from 2009. And it's still one of my favorite figures from the line. The only disappointing part is the canon mode. Just like is nothing. Like you can actually forget the canon mode even exists and you'll be fine. Um, but the color palette here is very very tame. It's a little the arms are huge. What the hell? They may be they may be deliberately mistransformed in order to get into the box. Fair enough. Suddenly hiccups. Why? Wow, there's a lot of parts that come off this guy. What's going on here? But yeah, I definitely want to continue. I want to get Devastator. God, I just realized. I wonder if there are any third parties that are going to construct wrecking balls for the Studio Series figure. If they haven't already. I don't want them to, but like somebody has to have by now. I liked the color palette of Mixmaster. Well, at least the toy. I mean, you can't fucking see what he looks like in the thing. But yeah, I still enjoyed and enjoy that figure. Although I haven't pulled it out in many years, so might be time for a refresher at this point. Okay, how the hell am I supposed to get my scissors in there, really? But this guy's going to transform completely different from the 2009 figure. I was really impressed with the Mixmaster figure in how how he wasn't bulky, but he was able to stretch out, and the way that all those things accordioned around, and you had to take the hips, you had to take the legs, spread them out 90 degrees either side, flip them completely around 180 degrees, and then put them back down, and somehow that gets them closer together. I'm like, wow, that's well done. And then you actually collapse the legs down and completely get it in underneath the cab, which unfortunately the cab is sitting right there and clearly it does not transform. So, grr. So the bar is pretty high on this one, on this figure specifically. I am looking forward to long haul because that was the one thing that the original figure didn't have is he didn't have enough meat on him. The Voyager-class figure, which I do have, which was not a bad figure, just wasn't a good enough representation of the character. The little we saw of him from 2009. The cab. Is there anything under here? No, there is not. Darn. It comes apart. Grr. I hope that's for safety reasons too. By the way, I hope. But yeah, he's complete. Oh, Devi's head. There's his head. Hi, Devi. How are you? Which we did not get in 2009. Boy, that's just sticking out there for the world to say. Okay. I was kind of secretly hoping that I'd get Mixmaster last because it does have the head. Because the head is usually the last part of any transformation. Blah 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 blah. But darn. But yeah, I really enjoyed um, God, how do I... Um... Oh, okay, there we go. His arms are huge. I don't believe this. Or at least his forearms are just... What the hell? I can't remember if they have the cannon mount attached to this guy or not. I'm running out of space on my desk. Running out of? You already have. Who are you kidding? Maybe I should not mess around with articulation until I know how this bad boy goes together. Speaking of bad boys, Cops got canceled. That's one of the very, very few reality TV programs that I ever put any weight behind, ever. In the decade and a half that reality TV has been hanging around, Cops was one of the very few. And you know about Cops from like the 80s or whatever it is, the 80s and 90s. But like, Cops was one of the very few reality TV programs I put any weight behind, and that's because it was actual reality. Yeah, they prompted the cops or they prompted the officers at the beginning or the end to say something witty or this is what my life was like and this is why I do those things. And then that's fine. And there's the witty one-liner at the very end and okay, whatever, you get a laugh out of it and it's kind of sort of gallows humor, so whatever. But that was one of the very few. It was not scripted. It was genuinely not scripted. This is annoying. Speaking of not scripted, it was genuinely. Of course, I don't watch it all the time, but like, goddamn cancel culture. Don't know what the fuck they're doing. So anyways, yeah, they canceled Cops. That disappointed me. God, there's so many joints on this thing. I don't know where to go. Eh. There's an awful lot of boring gray plastic on display here. Not a lot of paint except for the face. A little bit on the forearms. I would love to be able to flip that up like the instructions tell me to, but this arm is not letting me. Does it snap? No, it does not. So why is that not moving all the way? Ah! Again with the head popping off in the studio series. I bet you it's designed to lean forward. Yeah, it is. So why was his head pop off? Because I'm handling it. Yeah, they didn't even bother painting in his eyes. To be fair, it's pretty damn confusing in there. Jeez. What do you want me to attach it to? Oh, I think they want me to... Gosh, if only this goddamn picture wasn't so tiny. What do you want me to attach it to? What? What? Do you want me to just cover his face? Is that it? You want me to just, Oh, I guess they just want me to attach it. Okay. So the cab comes, the nose of the truck comes off in order to cover the face or uncover the face, which I suppose it makes sense. But on the other hand, that's a piece of kibble that I have to deal with. So, but it does succeed in actually covering his face up, which I totally had it down here the whole time. Sorry. Loosen that neck joint a bit, double neck joint. Yeah, it looks like they're not going to give us the cannon mode. That's acceptable. That is acceptable. Because let's be honest, he only used it the one time, so... Oh, wow. They molded that one joint, the one kibble joint in just such a way that it makes it look like a gyroscope. It makes it look like a universal joint. It's not, but they molded it to make it look like it. That's funny. Yeah, this is going to be very different from the 2009 figure I've got. Very different. He's got a huge bit of kibble sitting on his back there. Again. Just checking my tolerances, folks. Just checking the tolerances. Oh, if his head pops off again, I'll be pissed. All the wheels seem to turn. Oh, we've got some fake wheels. Oh, those are spare wheels. Okay. That's okay. That's fair. Spare wheels shouldn't have to turn, so. Okay. Studio Series Mixmaster. And yes, his arms are supposed to be that wide. That's actually one of the things that was really difficult with the Voyager version. I think this is a Voyager now that I think about it. Considering how small these are nowadays, this might be a Voyager, considered Voyager. But his color palette is very different. He's very gray and black, and I think there's some silver, and there's also gray involved. So yeah, he's nowhere near as flashy in robot mode as he was, at least in terms of colors, in 2009. And there's a big old truck nose in the cab. Actually, the nose was intact in the 2009 version, but the cabin got split up a bit. What is that? Do those move? Oh, they do. What is that? Oh, are those supposed to move out? Oh, they are. There's a little bit, not mistransformed, but they neglect to tell you in the instructions here. He's got these kind of little forearm thingies, except they're not, that hang out down by like lower rib cage or whatever it is, and you have to fold them outwards to either side. But the instructions don't tell you that. Was that ratcheting I just felt? And they're on ball joints too. Nice. It's like there's no reason for them to be there other than that they just look neat. Well, that ankle joint is absolutely nothing, and so is that one. So he's going to fall over every chance he gets straight out of the box. I like the weird proportions. So when you get this out of the box, you have to take these two panels or these two kind of arm structures. They're ordinarily pointed down. You have to fold them outwards to either side. That's part of his design. And be careful, they're on ball joints and they're a little on the tight side. So be careful when you fold those out. Good grief. And his shoulders can move forward and backwards as well. So he also has that option. Not much though, because he's got these. I don't think these are fuel tanks. I think these are smokestacks. These are kind of in the way. So, but yeah, they're getting no paint whatsoever on his eyes. His eyes are just completely buried in there. I couldn't even tell you what color his eyes are in the original version. I think they were just black holes. Just yeah. Just I was just thinking of the contrast between this and his G1 self. It's just there's no comparison whatsoever, none. And that's one of the reasons why I like Bayformers, at least aesthetically. That's one of the reasons I like it. His hands are hollow, and they only have a wrist that goes up and down. So basically, he can only ever do. He basically does this. He basically does this all the time, but he does not have a thumb. There's no thumb that I can see. So, oh, they have anti-kibble in here. Huh. What an amusing role reversal. Mixmaster's arms are so long, or so his they're so far out here, and then they're so long that he can reach the ground with no problem. And then you compare this guy to Hightower, which was an absolute riot when I got it, and his arms are just tiny, and that's it. But believe it or not, I'm actually picking out on some of the details, or there's some similar body shapes at work here that I remember from the 2009 figure, which I do still have, by the way. No weapons though, which I suppose that's appropriate. That's just blatantly a pair of Devastator's teeth right there. That's his lower jaw. So, very first step is you push that down. I wouldn't mind having a Bayformer that looks like that. Two big arms up here, two big arms down here. That'd be great. Oh, that's neat. I bet you there's a tab in there. Feels like there'd be a tab. Yep, I was right. There's a peg right there. Oh, that's neat how they did that. Wow. Get that little extra bit of articulation in there. Well done, Hasbro. Well done. That feels familiar. To be fair, the 2009 version's very unwieldy. It's not meant for kids, and I think I'm fairly certain I said that in my review for 2000. Like, don't give this to kids. Just don't. But that being said, it was a pretty fantastic figure. What was the Mech Alive? I think the Mech Alive was like the third mode or whatever it is. Or did it have something in its... I don't remember what the Mech Alive one was. I think it didn't have a Mech Alive and it was just the canon mode. Come on, I know you want to. Get in there. Okay, I see where you need to go. I just need you to flex a little more. There we go. Ooh, this is challenging. I know where it needs to go, but the question is how do you get it in there? You force it, because why not? That doesn't make me feel good, considering how small that armature is. No, not good. Not good when that happens. No. That was just one arm. Now I gotta do it to the other side. And it popped open as soon as I said it. Mixmaster was really... The 2009 figure was damn good at hiding its kibble in vehicle mode. It was really, really good at it. You know, it almost doesn't need these two pegs here. I don't like how it's going to stress that every single time. Yeah, I don't like the way those peg in there like that. That's not... You almost don't need those pegs there. I feel like I'm putting it under undue stress. I don't like that. It locks in there nice and solidly, but I kind of feel like there's an extra peg in there that doesn't need. Getting those forearm panels to plug into, it's like the back of the shoulder or whatever it is. There's a peg in there. I see what they're trying to do, but there's a peg that I really don't like. It kind of puts undue stress on a really narrow hinge arm, and that concerns me. And why are those there? I don't know. Oh, it's probably for triple changer, Ava. Triple changer. Oh, no way. Oh, cool. He has exactly the same kind of pelvis collapsing feature on him. Because previously, let's see, how do I do this? Previously, you had to turn on the 2009 version. You turn his leg all the way out, flip it around 180 degrees, and then you fold it back. You fold it back downwards. Well, this version you don't do that. They actually found a way around that, and it's basically you take the hips and you collapse them downwards and together. See, it's kind of a pogo stick appearance. So, yeah, I was wondering what they were going to do with that. Oh, those feet get folded all the way back. I stumbled across that step. And then you snap the ankles together, or you peg the ankles together. That's a peg that's totally going to break first chance it gets, by the way. Just saying. So that's how they handled the smokestacks. The way the smokestacks and the fuel tanks on the 2009 version, like I just love the way they accordion and flip around in all kinds of different places. So it was so refreshing, you know. Like little kids beat themselves up over it, but like that was neat what they did back in the day. Really, really like that. Uh-oh, visible head syndrome. Oh, that's not good. Yep. Yeah, visible head syndrome. That's a bummer. How many places you want me to stick this in? Oh god, there's 3 places. Oh boy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's impressive when they do it. It's like everything lines up just right. It's like, oh, okay, alright. But then actually getting it in there is the hard part. The windows are boring. We just painted silver. Grr. Okay, that goes to there. That goes to there. And then 3 of those. Okay, that's overkill. Why would you... Of course, I cannot see what I'm doing getting the other arm into position. I cannot see what I'm doing now, so I just have to wish and a prayer type scenario. Let's get his head way buried in there. Very visible head syndrome. There's a peg under the fuel tank, but I have no idea where... Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see it. Yeah, that peg kind of didn't need to be there, right the fuel tank is. You don't need that there. Here comes the hard part. Now you have to get like 5 different pegs along the concrete drum to line up perfectly. On top of which, ensuring at the same time that the two halves of the of each side of um, the two halves of the concrete drum, you have to make certain that they stay together at the same time that you're putting it together like this. So basically, you're getting this kind of scenario where you have to make certain that these things line up with each other, but then at the same time you have to make certain that these come together. Oh, by the way, did I mention you can't see what you're doing? And also sweaty. Okay, it is lined up, right? Yeah, it is. I just can't get that very last snap to happen. It's the last step. Come on. There we go. Wow. I can't wait for the part where I have to pull that thing apart now. Yep, there it is. Darn it, those separated. Oh, come on, Hasbro. Did you have to put that many pegs in there? Jeez. There we go. Okay, good. Wow, that's solid. Okay, too many pegs, Hasbro. Too many pegs. You didn't need that many. Okay, I think I'm done. How long did that take? I wasn't paying attention. 18 minutes. It took 18 minutes. Well, unedited. 18 minutes. Can that actually roll, though? It's close. Yeah, it can roll. It can. Is it dragging on anything? Barely. Barely. Actually, have a full dose to the side. Maybe that won't help. I don't know. Those two lower rib cage connectors, or not connectors, but they're kind of armatures, kind of whatever they are. Those are. You can see there's his head right there. Then here's the two lower rib cage armatures or whatever they are. Those probably will drag on the ground if you try to roll this thing. So, unfortunately, no giant Decepticon symbols right there, but he does have the Decepticon doggy sitting on the nose right there. So be careful with that, by the way. It will break off. Wow. That claps it down pretty good. Pretty much his entire, like, Mixmaster's whole body is right here, and then Devastator's head is the cab. That's pretty much all that it is. And then there's like, it's like from the, what it's called, from the toolboxes back. That's Mixmaster's body, and then the cabin and the nose. That's Devastator's head. So it's pretty much his whole body is back here. But unlike the 2009 version, really need to stop saying that. Unlike the 2009 version, the what's this called? The concrete drum is empty. The concrete barrel, the drum is empty. So, and he's got quite a bit of kibble on display here. He's got these things right here, and then he's got his feet. They're kind of visible in the back here. So there's a little bit of kibble, and obviously we don't count the bottom. We don't worry about that. But that being said, a little bit of kibble on the back here. So yeah, can't really avoid it, but it doesn't look too bad. You know, it's nothing too concerning. But still, they collapse it down fairly nicely. Took care of most of the seam lines. But yeah, there's a couple too many pegs when you're actually bringing the arms together. There's like 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 pegs, and then there's like one way down here. So it's like too many pegs for what you're trying to do, Hasbro. Just thanks, but no. Unless those pegs are used for actually combining into Devastator. Like, okay, so here's the creepy part. Transforming him from robot into truck mode is 21 steps. To get him from truck mode into Devastator mode is 30 steps. So, very first thing you do, rip the nose off. If I can remember how. Oh yeah, it just tabs off. Or just, it does a thing. Get off of there. Get off of there. Get off there. Ouch. You know, I remember saying it, calling it the, I don't know, like long haul truck from hell or something like that. No relation to the. And here it is for the second time ever. There's a giant monster demon face on the front, just underneath the cabin, because he did the exact same thing to the 2009 version. You lifted it off, and then just kind of whatever crazy ass shit was under here, some sort of a demon truck, something or other. So, okay. It'd be interesting to see what they do with this. Oh, it just pegs in the back. Okay, all right. Oh look, I get to just rip it apart again. Hopefully the way out will be more dignified than the way in. Hopefully. Too many pegs. Too many pegs. I can understand the difficulty of trying to do that, but just too many pegs to cut. Or Hasbro. Yeah, I guess it was. I guess Hasbro and Takar together. Whoever made this. Too many pegs to keep track of when you're closing the thing together. Finally, just. Ugh. Get out. God. The more pegs you have involved, uh, the more chances of something's going to slip, or things are going to come apart. So, God, look at this. Just now, it's just become a demon bat with a big spiky tail, no less. So, good times. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes per side. So he's got 10 eyes on him. Holy shit. We're just gonna. Oh, how am I supposed to get past that? Okay. How do I? I'm gonna scratch paint if I try to do that. There's got to be more to it than that. If it only goes up, I will be concerned. Oh, come on. Okay, okay, something needs to give here. Something needs to give. Because that's not coming out. Yeah, I know what you want me to do. I don't see how I can get it past that. No, that's great. Doing some significant damage. Okay, I really want to move that down, but I don't know if it does or not. Because the instructions are all wrong color as usual. Okay. That has to move. It has to move. Because if it doesn't, I don't know how to get this out of here. And his head is right there, so I can't. Does that move back or forward, or does it move anywhere? I'm stuck at this one stage where you're supposed to basically flip the top of his face out from inside of the cabin, but like there's a pair of horns or something, and they're pushing up against. Um, they're pushing. Can you guys even see? No, you can't. It can't get past it. You're supposed to get it past it, but it can't. And if I force it, then I'm gonna break it. If I don't, then I'm not. I feel like there's another joint involved here, but there's no way for me to know unless I've transformed this before. And if I force it... Oh, there it goes. Thank God. I got it out. Okay. It just popped out all by itself. So what did I do that freed that up? I think you just force it past? Yeah. I guess you just force it past it. That's not how I would have done it. Well, I'm kind of glad I didn't force it, but at the same time... Yeah, that's not supposed to move. I don't think... Yeah, that's not supposed to move. I guess you just pull it out. You force it past. And the mask is ABS, so... Well, I got it. I forced it, and it came out, and then... The mask completely covers the windows of the cabin. Wow. Wow. It just completely disappears. Amazing. Unfortunately, that also means no vortex thing for you to like. Well, you can kind of. He's got like two jaws. There's like an external one and one where his tongue might be. Has a bunch of teeth on it. So like, I can't really decide. Cause like there's this jaw. Oops. And then there's like there's this gray section, and then there's another one. Let's see. See, he's got like two different jaws, and then he's got this one down here. So, not quite sure what they're planning here, but yeah. That was a bit nerve-wracking. I probably spent like 7 or 8 minutes trying to get the mask out of that one area, and you just have to like force it out. So, it was slightly nerve-wracking. But unfortunately, you're not even going to be able to put a Legends class figure down his throat. Unfortunately, you used to be able to do that with the big one. You could put like little Micromasters or Minicon size Transformers down his gullet. You can't do that with this one, so. Okay. Now we just straight up converting the arms now, so. Unpeg these little monsters. I really don't like that one peg there. No. I'm almost tempted to cut that peg off just because I don't like how it works. Yeah, that puts a lot of stress on that. I don't like that. I know why it's there, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. It's a bit of an unnecessary peg. Huh? Ooh. I don't think you're supposed to bend that way. No, you're not. Don't do that again, please. Or maybe you are supposed to bend that far? Oh, it does kind of click into place. Okay, well, we'll take a risk and leave it there. Gosh, I wish they'd shown a different angle of this. What do you want me to do? No, that doesn't. What do you want me to do? Wait, what? What? Oh boy, I get to repeg a bunch of stuff together. Oh, goody goody gumdrops. The very thing I was complaining about with truck mode, I gotta do all over again here now. You know, I'm tempted to like not peg these together just because it's such a pain in the ass. Guys, like 4 different pegs. Fuck that noise. Fuck that noise. me to plug the spare wheels into the back of the... Or they want me to tab... Yeah, they want me to peg the spare wheels into a pair of slots under, or basically behind his butt? Is that... Oh, between the wheels. Okay, I'm not gonna peg that in there. Nice try, but that being said, no, I'm not gonna do that. Take the cabin. Oh my God, really? And peg it in. Oh, you have got to be joking. You've got to be joking. You want to peg that in there? Really? God, who designs these things? Oh, how long have I been at this? 24 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, I think I'm done. I think I got it. So that took me 24 minutes. Actually, it's a little over 24 minutes because yeah, no, that was 24 minutes. Whoa, okay. So his toes are pegged in between these wheels here. Actually is a tab in. But there's a subtle, under each of these spare wheels, or I don't know what they're called, these extra wheels here, there's a little tiny peg underneath them. You're supposed to peg his butt cheeks into the underside of those wheels. That's not happening. That's not happening on my watch. That's, no. And there's his face. That looks horrifying, as it should. Wow. And I do remember, I don't remember if it was Mixmaster who did it or Scavenger, but there were a pair of, I remember, there were like a set of chains with hooks on the end. I think they came out of I think they came out of Mixmaster. They reached out and hooked or grabbed onto. Um, my brain is going. They hooked onto Scavenger, and then it pulled. It pulled, or whether Mixmaster was pulled into or pulled himself into Scavenger, or Scavenger grabbed on and pulled him in. I don't know. I don't know who was pulling onto who. But the point is, I kind of feel like that's what these claw thingies are supposed to be here. Although, I think, just looking at where things are, I think there's a pair of clips right here. Those may get used to it, and it may allow for the head to bob up and down a little bit. That would be my guess. Trying to look for other places that could get pegged into. There's a convenient spot between his legs. That might also be a connection point. There's also a big hollow space in here between his arms and legs. There's a big hollow space right there. You can actually see how much of my fingers I can get in there. So there's pretty good opportunity some stuff's going to get slipped in there. Okay, so that was a slightly pain in the ass. I think I might tilt the smokestacks outwards a little bit. Oh, if it'll let me. Oh, goodness. Oh, does that actually peg into place? Really? Why did that fight me? Maybe it's like one side is supposed to tab in, the other one didn't. Oh, there's a little thingy right there. Good grief. Let's see, did I have to struggle with the others? I remember scrap metal. There was a little bit of trouble getting the fingers into position. Ow, my thumb. And then there was... Actually, there wasn't a lot of difficulty on High Tower. And then... Oh, who's the other one? Sorry, what was the other one? Bone Crusher? Yeah, Bone Crusher was the other one. Um, yeah, there was a little bit of trouble with Bone Crusher, mostly because it was the way his arms and shoulders, the way those opened up and flipped around and things. Those are kind of a pain in the ass. Um, yeah. This is also not for kids. Even though it's being sold in the toy aisle, I would not advise giving this to kids. No. Okay, so there's Mixmaster turned into Devastator's head and neck. Or maybe it's his mane. I don't know. One thing I do know is that the clearly the his long kind of accordion like neck, that's not going to be happening. There's no, so that's kind of an inaccuracy that I'm seeing here. That's nowhere near. So I guess they couldn't find a way to get anything wrapped around his to create his neck, kind of an accordion like neck feature. That's just outright not happening here. So his jaw doesn't close quite as solidly as I would like, though. Still, that's one of the most detailed Transformer heads I have ever seen in my life, and I mean ever. That's ridiculous how detailed that is. 5 eyes on each side, I should point out. I think I'm capable. I think we can get all of the. I think the Devastator. I think people actually can build Devastator at this point. So this is gonna be a pain in the ass to get this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this a couple of times to get the routine. Yeah, flipping the mask out of the cabin, that was one of the harder parts. Just like, okay, how much force can I put on it, and do I really, really, really want to scratch the paint? Which is probably going to happen. It's at the very top of his head. It's like way up here where you're going to scratch paint. So maybe you're not going to notice it over time, I guess. But I just love his face mask. Let me see if I can. There we go. You can see his face mask completely covers the cabin. There's the cabin windows, and it just right over the top of it. That's great. I love that. It's good stuff right there. What time is it? 9 p.m. and the sun is still out. Wonder if I should eat dinner and then do the other transformer I got.